Hey guys, Marsing here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be talking about the community response to LR Tien, the part 2 LR that is going to be coming out in the next couple of days. We haven't had a data download yet today at the time of recording. It's like 8:30 AM UK time. I guess there could be one in like 30 minutes maybe, which will give us the exact time of the banner. And of course I will update. I'll put a pin comment or something and let you guys know. But interestingly enough, you guys will know, of course, if you check out the channel regularly or a subscriber, I didn't do a video talking about the details for Tien yesterday because they strangely posted his details a day earlier than they usually do, right? The content cycle for quite a while now has been, like, if you think about the Ginyu Force EZAs and stuff like that, is it's always news on Twitter in the morning on Sunday for me, like Saturday evening if you're in the US, then like the data download is the next day, and then the banner comes out on Tuesday morning for me, Monday evening for US. So those of you who come to the streams as well when we were chatting about what's going on for the weekend, I went away for the whole day yesterday, so I recorded some stuff to go up on the channel while I was gone, but literally I went out first thing in the morning my time, and so literally I'm already like out on my journey to be out for the whole day, and then I see the Twitter post about Tien, and unfortunately couldn't do anything about it. Was literally out all day, didn't get home until after like 1 AM, so I put up this post while I was out during the day because I knew I wouldn't be able to do a proper details breakdown video. So we are just going to do the community response video because I like to do these, as you guys know, for new units and some of the new big ticket EZAs, just to gauge what you guys are thinking on the unit from the details that we see posted. So obviously LR Tien, I think a lot of people had, you know, pretty much locked in this guy as the prediction for the Part 2 LR because of that teased Tien asset that was on the Million Arena title thing. And it is him, and it is not the Z, or like Saiyan Saga Tien or anything like that. It is the 22nd World Tournament, like versus Kid Goku. Definitely an interesting pick. I've said this before, like for OG Dragon Ball Saga stuff, I think it definitely does deserve that extra little bit of respect in the game because we don't really get many releases that often, and the community is kind of heavily divided, right? There are the OG DB fans that just want whatever they can get because it doesn't happen very often, and then there's the people who don't really ever want it because they either haven't watched it or don't really care, because a lot of people like me like grew up with Z and didn't even know OG Dragon Ball was a thing until a long time after. For me, it's one of those things, like I caught up with it years later when I actually realised what it was, like when I properly got into anime and stuff, because Dragon Ball Z was one of the first things I saw on TV, like come home after school and watch it. Had no idea OG Dragon Ball existed or anything like that. And I do like it. Like I said, I think it should be respected. It's like the beginning of the story, right? It's where all these characters come from. But in Dokkan, as I've said many times before, the OG Dragon Ball stuff's not super hype for me, just because I like running teams like Power Beyond Super Saiyan, you know, I like heroes of all the what if sort of stuff. I like all the crazy transformations and all these kind of things. And with the link sets and categories that they're on, the Dragon Ball Saga characters just don't really ever fit on the teams that I like to run. So even if I think the character is cool, like this Tien, you know, he's got some aura for sure, he's not going to be on any of the teams that I primarily like to run. Therefore, he's not like a super exciting release for me personally. But let me know what you guys think. Of course, if you didn't get to see the post or you don't use Twitter, let me know in the comments what you think of Tien. But we'll just go ahead and jump straight in. So we got our good friend Dr. Pritch, a good unit with some flaws that will age him. No defense on super, no additional or crit. I do like him though, and we'll use some stones up to 500 plus tickets for him. People will complain about him, but do you really want a great hype unit just before likely Super Saiyan 4 Goku? Good spot for him, in my opinion. Yeah, this is interesting because he does have really, really high damage reduction, and he's got pretty good defense. So, like, it's one of those things like Tao, where he's probably going to be very strong in this meta with the damage reduction and everything that he has, but he doesn't get defense on super. So as we start to get power creep, he's not one of those units where slot 1 tanks that do raise defense in some way, shape or form, once they sort of age out of being really good in slot 1 against supers, a lot of the time you can still use them on teams in slot 2 or 3 because they're raising defense enough when they attack that they can still tank some hits and be viable. Whereas obviously units that don't get any extra defense at all and just have that built-in damage reduction, when that power creep starts to hit, then those units can start to age out. And then of course, yeah, this last point, you know, likely to be Super Saiyan 4 Goku, talking about global Dokkan campaign, of course. I did mention this in here, right? We're not just talking about whether Tien is good. So like, is he worth summoning for this close to the global Dokkan campaign? Because remember, the global Dokkan campaign, the quote-unquote anniversary level event for the July, is going to be starting in like 2 weeks. So all the stones you could potentially spend on this banner are all stones that you could have spent on what is essentially like the 2nd anniversary of the year, right? So we got our boy Raldo. He looks good, but I don't believe he's a groundbreaking release for people to summon for. Interesting kit, but not worth it this close to global Dokkan campaign. I suggest free tickets, and that's it. I mean, that is the great thing right now with the Dokkan Day and all that stuff, is that everybody gets free summons for this guy. 21 tickets are available, I believe, through all of the missions. So everybody gets 3 free 7-unit ticket multis. And of course, we've had this a couple of times now, and I've seen multiple screenshots from these previous banners of people pulling, like Kale and Caulifla, pulling Tau. So, you know, multiple people out there are going to pull this Tien for free. Hopefully it's my turn, because the free Saiyan Day tickets have done absolutely nothing for me so far. So we'll see how that goes. Prof says, don't like him. Units shouldn't miss defense on Super, no matter their kit. Also, as soon as Dokkan returns back to AoE enemies, he might be a problem. But hey, exactly the treatment I expected for a non-Saiyan unit. I mean, yeah, a lot of people have this mindset, right, where it's like if they're not a Saiyan or like a fusion, then they get undertuned, right? And that's kind of apparent with when we look at things like, as I mentioned, I think was it yesterday's video, when we were talking about Extreme and Super and Fusions and Easy A's and stuff. Maybe it was one of the fumbles or W's of the year video. But like, you look at Tech Kale and Caulifla, who got an absolutely fantastic Easy A, who are both Saiyan and Fusion character. And then you got Ginyu, who came out after them and is worse. And of course it's part of the, I guess you could either say it's part of the Saiyan or Fusion thing, or the fact that Super seems to get treated better than Extreme. But yeah, I mean, I think he's good. There is, for the meta that we're in now, him not getting defense on Super I don't think is particularly a massive issue. But obviously, as I say, that sort of setup does make it so that these units can get power crept like quite easily. So I guess we'll see. We've got Jordan says, do not summon. Yeah, fair. Tien is crazy good. GDC is way too close. I feel like this is probably the general sort of, I would say, the general consensus, or at least the general sort of where I'm at kind of thing, right? Tien seems really, really good to me. But Global Dokkan campaign being in 2 weeks, as an anniversary level celebration, as it's being advertised, it's very likely that at least one of the units that we're getting from the anniversary is going to be the new best unit in the game, or at least very, very close, like number 2 maybe, because it does make you wonder how exactly they're going to make a unit better than Vegito. But yeah, they're going to be some of the new best units in the game. So with them coming out in 2 weeks, you're going to want as many stones as you can. Also, with the 2 anniversary celebrations now being 6 months apart, and we're not having the worldwide celebration anymore, I do very much suspect that the 10th anniversary units will come back on these banners as well. So these are going to be banners that you are really going to want to summon on, right? So Owen Trent says, I like him getting a unit of this caliber, but as an OG Dragon Ball fan, I kind of wanted him to have a Dokkan Fest exclusive. Would have preferred Master Shen or Cyborg Tao. I mean, so, like I said, OG Dragon Ball Saga is not hype for a lot of people in the fan base. I think if it was Master Shen or like Cyborg Tao, but Master Shen especially, like, that would be so unhype for a lot of people. I think even people that do want OG Dragon Ball Saga buffs, like Master Shen especially, feels like a crazy like pick for a part 2 LR. At least it's Tien, and like 22nd World Tournament Tien, like, he deserves that little bit of respect. I guess, yeah, like people wanting him to get a proper Dokkan Fest. But Yellow Coin LRs, as we started off with PyCon, like, better leader skills now, obviously can have very strong kits. So I still think this is like a W for the DB Saga fans, right? Jaren says he's cool and his animations are cool. Seems pretty darn good, but not really worth summoning with GDC being next. My only concern with Tien is he'll be versus supers that aren't the first attack he takes in the turn. Yeah, because he obviously, like, he gets all this extra damage reduction in that slot 1 scenario. To be fair, I was thinking about his details because he has that extra damage reduction in slot 1. Is it only for the first hit? I probably should have double checked it properly before we started, but he has, yeah, before receiving an attack it's 75% damage reduction. After receiving an attack he gets a massive defensive boost and extra damage reduction. So I think it depends on, I guess, what his start of turn defense is, because when he gets hit for the first time in slot 1, he drops down to having 30% damage reduction. Well, I guess if it's turn 1, because he gets a damage reduction boost for 3 turns as well. So if he gets hit by a normal attack in slot 1 on turn 1, he has 75% damage reduction, and then it drops to 50%. But he gets 400% defense when he gets hit. So depending on what his start of turn defense is, it is then jumping up to a pretty significant amount, and then 50% damage reduction. Obviously the issue is that if he then, like as Jaren is saying here, if he then gets super attacked, especially by some of these bosses that are doing really big damage, then that is potentially going to be bad for him. I mean, he does have the chance to nullify super attacks. It is only Ki Blast, of course, as well, though, to be fair. And some of the toughest boss fights in the game at the moment aren't Ki Blast supers. So I guess we'll have to see. But definitely looking forward to trying him out in game and seeing all these numbers and everything. But and then we got Jace the Ace says, since we just got these for the banner, why wouldn't we? I mean, obviously, like, it's like when I do the summon or skip videos now, they very much have to be caveated with, like, yeah, obviously people are going to use the free tickets, but would you be summoning for them, like, outside of the free tickets, right? Very strong unit, top 10. Not really sure what the... I don't know if there's something I'm missing here, but I'm not sure what's going on with this. We've got Goth Kua, Extreme Class Tick, Underappreciated Character Tick. I'd prefer Gokua, of course, but it is what it is, yeah. The #1 Gokua fan. Clem, definitely not worth summoning for if you're dead set on GDC being a celebration on the level of the 10th anniversary. I'm not sure. This is where people might come unstuck with, like, unrealistic expectations, right? Because we know it's being advertised as an anniversary level celebration, but the 10th anniversary itself was, like, the ultimate anniversary celebration, and I would kind of expect GDC to be on the level of, you know, a normal anniversary, not necessarily the 10th, right? I think it will feature most of the things that the 10th anniversary did in terms of structure and, like, content and stuff like that, but I think we'll probably only get 4 new units and not 6. We probably won't get the Purunga mission to get one of them for free, but I still think it'll be a very good anniversary level celebration. But I don't know if on the level of the 10th anniversary is probably maybe setting the expectation a little bit too high. But I will say him being phenomenal OGDB unit, as well as having a great great animations and being very underrepresented character, makes it hard not to, which is fair. Like I say, if you are DB Saga fan, eating with this release for sure. Dre says if he's very good. If he's your favorite, then go for it. But we have 2 to 3 weeks until GDC. Might get lucky and pull him from the carnival banners. That is true, because he'll release now as a yellow coin LR, and then when the global Dokkan campaign starts, if the carnival LR is a unit that you are going to want to summon for, either in part 1 or part 2, he will be unfeatured on that banner. So if we get a unit that's, you know, like the level of the Super Saiyan 3 AGL Goku from the anniversary, comes out as one of the carnival LRs, and you want to go ham because you really want that unit, like, is really good for you and your teams, or maybe is one of your favorite characters, you're going to have a chance to pull Tien off of all of those summons that you do on his banner. Now, obviously not a super high chance because it's an unfeatured yellow coin LR, but that is a very good point, that obviously he's going to come out and then he's just going to be on those anniversary carnival banners anyway. So that is something to bear in mind. J Dale says his kit looks sick, animations look sick, just an all-round banger of a release for an underrepresented character. Yep, I agree for sure. He seems really good. Literally no one should be using their stones on anything. I mean, again, as I said, this feels like the general sort of temperature of the responses, right? Like, yeah, he is good, but GDC right around the corner, right? Strong character to help the team that needs help. His kit is interesting. Makes you think about future turns more than other characters. I mean, yeah, planning around, because obviously if you put him in like the second or third turn, he has these extra buffs. He does have support for multiple turns as well, which is good, like the 2-turn defensive support, which is cool. Yeah, it's a very solid unit. Sokudo going to skip this one. While he's good enough to be run in the current content, he doesn't seem to be a game changer by any means. Stones are safe. I mean, that is an interesting point as well. I mean, not every unit has to be like a crazy game breaking, like, you know, thing. But this guy is one of those kind of units where he is very, very good, but he isn't like a game changer. Like, if you don't have him, it's not going to be the end of the world, right? Especially being the character that he is and the teams that he's on. You know, it's not like when we get a new Goku or Vegeta or a Fusion and they're going to be on like 20 different teams, right? But yeah, obviously a solid unit, but not a game changer. I feel like that's a good breakdown. I'm summoning, been wanting a premium LR Tien for ages. Yeah, I was going to say, these people, the OGDB fans, definitely eating with this release. He is very strong, so not bad. Going to skip, hoping the free-to-play in LR Tien EZA is good. Yeah, because hopefully we're still getting the Prime Battle EZA Tien fairly soon, but annoying, of course, they have the same name, although this guy is going to be a slot 1, so if they give the Prime Battle EZA some like good support or something, then you can have this guy slot 1 and the Prime Battle floating in slot 3, then that works quite well. Seems very good, especially with the defense and the attack stacking. Very good offensively attack, but not worth summoning because what's coming next is important, of course. Yeah, very good unit. Of course, it's before the global celebration, but what else is new? Simon, haven't even looked at the details. Saw it was Tien, fell back asleep. Dokkan is completely dead to me at the moment. No interest even logging in. I mean, the game has been pretty quiet, and yeah, especially with the Tau celebration, like if you're not an OG Dragon Ball fan, then obviously this whole month celebration is just not super hype for you, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Rocky, really good, but still a skip. Hamza says, great unit, but not worth summoning on due to Global Dokkan campaign. Boss G26 going to get the tickets, but probably a huge skip for everyone, yeah. Fecto Stylus, no, but I'm glad DB Saga / Earthlings get such a boost. It was needed, glad they get it throughout the year. But like always, Super Saiyan 4 agenda over anything else besides Cell. Yes, I know he's on tournament participants. Yeah, I think look at the Super Saiyan 4 agenda, right? Looking forward to the Diamond stuff. No, he's not worth. I mean, yeah, again, like he's super good, but yeah, so close to the GDC, not worth summoning. First GDC should be something very special. That is also true. Not only is it going to be an anniversary level celebration that we're going to be getting every July from now on, but this is going to be the first one. So you would expect they are going to pull out all the stops. He's really good, but he's a yellow coin and Dimer is coming. Pray for ticket and Carnival Banner luck. I mean, the thing about him being a yellow coin LR though as well is his banner should have pity, but obviously we'll see from the data download. PokeTF says seems really good, but this close to GDC, hell no. No one should summon because hype is about to come. Yeah, very likely. Z Fighter Cadonius, good kit, but not worth the stones, which is fair. Worth summoning, I say 90% no. Is he good enough? Like 1,000,000%, yep. Unless you're a big fan of the series, I'd say skip. He's definitely good enough, but this close to GDC, can't recommend anyone summon. But I'm not taking my own advice. TN, you will have my stones unless you're in my ticket summons. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like I say, is what we talk about in the summon or skip videos all the time. Like, I only talk about what I think is smart and like in terms of best value for your stones. And this guy kind of breaks it down, right? Is I wouldn't recommend you summon on this banner because it's so close. But for the OG Dragon Ball fans, especially if you are someone who spends on the game, you're a collector or a whale, like you're gonna summon for TN, right? Because you like TN. So if you're free to play or you only spend a little bit on the game, then obviously my advice is to try and be safe with your stones, go for the stuff that is the maximum value, like the GDC banners. We've got someone here like Pat, though. We will be completely emptying our stones for him. Matt says, is he good enough? And then lots of ha-ha-has, so I'm assuming that's just a guaranteed yes. Mr. T, obviously not a DB Saga fan. He sleep. And there you go. So, yeah, like I say, the overall sort of response to TN seems to be that, yup, he is indeed very, very good, as, you know, I suspect, you know, from reading his kit when it dropped. But the timing of his release is the thing that makes it awkward and essentially will put off a lot of people from summoning, which is, I guess, is a shame, because obviously if he released in a different time slot where it was like, you know, a good few months before the next big celebration, maybe more people would be tempted to go in for some stone summons. But we all get the free 3 ticket summons, We'll see how those go. That will probably be all I do on his banner. Just like Tao, I'll only do the free tickets, and then I'm just trying to save up all my stones for Global Dokkan campaign. I don't whale out on the game really anymore, so I'm trying to make sure I've got a good, decent amount of stones ready for that celebration. And my luck on the last few banners hasn't been particularly great anyway, so I feel like I need to go into the GDC with a decent amount of stones stacked up. So that being said, let me know what you guys think of Tien. If your comments didn't make it into the video, obviously there's the possibility that I recorded the video before you replied, if you did reply and didn't see it here. Or as I said before, if you didn't see the tweet or just don't use Twitter, do let me know in the comments of the video what you guys think of LR Tien. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ninja. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.